And with multiple cities in India having hosted G20 theme events and ministerial dialogues, it's time for the big one, the G20 Leaders Summit in national capital, New Delhi. Top world leaders, including US President Joe Biden, will also be in attendance. All the details in this report. Take a look.
Prime Minister Modi of India.
It was on 16th November 2022 when Prime Minister Modi was handed the gavel of the G20 presidency for 1 year by his Indonesian counterpart Joko Widodo in Bali. Since then, India has set about redefining several aspects of how G20 is hosted, putting forth the best in its regional and cultural diversity before the global stage. With multiple cities in India having hosted G20 theme events and ministerial dialogues, it's time for the big one, the G20 Leaders Summit in the national capital, New Delhi, where the biggest world leaders, including US President Joe Biden, will be in attendance. The US President will be visiting India from September 7th to 10th. This is going to be Biden's first visit to India after taking over in the White House on January 20, 2021. US President Biden's visit to India for the G20 will give a push to important initiatives, upholding the group's significance as the premier forum for global economic cooperation.
The President will reaffirm the U.S. commitment to the G20 as the premier forum of economic cooperation globally. He'll discuss a range of joint efforts to tackle global issues, from the clean energy transition and combating climate change to mitigating the economic and social impacts of Russia's war in Ukraine. Obviously, that will be a big part of the conversation, to increasing the capacity of the multilateral development banks, including the World Bank, to better fight poverty and take on the significant transnational challenges that are afflicting.
As per the White House's release announcing his travels, the US President is likely to discuss a range of joint efforts to tackle global issues. These range from the clean energy transition and combating climate change to mitigating the economic and social impacts of Russia's war in Ukraine.
We would welcome any country that, one, wants to take steps to support our Ukrainian partners, and two, we would welcome any country playing a role in continuing to convey to the Russian Federation that how important and dire it is that they leave Ukraine altogether.
The US is also expected to discuss increasing the capacity of the multilateral development banks to better fight poverty and to take on the significant transnational challenges that are afflicting countries across the world. The White House adds that President Biden will also commend Prime Minister Modi's leadership of the G20 and reaffirm the US commitment to the forum, including by hosting the G20 Summit in 2026. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
As a part of the decoration